The Barnstable Town Council meets this Thursday evening at 7 o'clock in a different location. They'll be meeting at the Knight Auditorium at Barnstable High School instead of the Town Hall hearing room as usual. And here to explain to us why and to explain to us what's going on at this meeting is Assistant Town Manager Tom Lynch. Hi, Tom.
Nick, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. So let's start off with the venue change. What's the thinking behind that?
Well, the recent contract offer that was made to the town manager has generated a great deal of interest, and citizens have been calling to kind of try to figure out how that came about and what's been happening. And I believe that in communication that the town council president has had with different individual citizens that are out there, he felt that there would be enough of a crowd that our normal hearing room might not hear it. So he didn't want to get into a situation where the venue was too small or cramped, and this way Knight Auditorium should accommodate all those who want to come and speak to the council about that specific action and how that came about and such. So I suspect there will be a goodly number of citizens who have, expressed concern here who want to come and just talk to the town council about that.
I think that there's a lot of confusion. I think that it's safe to say that there's a lot of upset people in our community as a result of all of this, and I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of emotion coming up at this public comment period, or at least considering what we've experienced swirling around so far, that would be my expectation anyway. So let's talk a little bit about the rules for public comment in this particular situation.
I believe that the council president will have the 2-minute rule in effect so that he can accommodate as many individuals as possible. Naturally, everyone is expecting that there'll be civility and decorum, and Fred Chirigotis, as the council president, has to manage the meeting that way. But I'm sure that he has indicated to the media that he wants to give everyone a chance to have their say. I'm sure that after public comment, there will be a chance for council response to public comment. So there'll be a dialogue, among the councilors and around what they may have heard.
There have been a series of open meeting law violation complaints filed with the Attorney General's office now by a couple of different town councilors. There were, of course, the filings by Councilor Crocker that have been hanging out there for a while, and more recently there was an open meeting law violation complaint filed by Councilor Jochum. So I wonder, at this meeting, will any of those be addressed by the council, and if so, how?
I think the only one that was up for, or should be up for discussion, would have been the most recent one filed by Councilor Jochum. My understanding, though, from the town council president, is that the attorney that they have been using, Attorney Davis, John Davis, is not available on that evening.
Okay.
So they've already gotten an extension, I think till August 15th to deal with this, and of the time framework that's built into the law to August 15th. So that will be taken up at the August 4th meeting.
Okay, very good. Now let's talk about some of the business of the town, and certainly it's not so certain how much will actually be accomplished based on what happens earlier in the meeting, but I know that there is time pressure for the town council to cast a vote on the potential partnership with CVAC for the big proposed solar project that could bring 4 megawatts of solar panels to our capped landfill. Talk to us a little bit about this and whether you do anticipate a vote.
Well, I know that there's been a solar subcommittee appointed by the council president. They've worked very hard on this. They've made some changes to the contract. I think the most significant being that under the contract, 10% was of the profits, if you will, were going to go back to CVAC, and now 100% is going to stay with the host community of Barnstable. So that was a significant and important change. You're right, there's a time pressure in that they want to get all these contracts signed because we're in with other towns, get them out and begin the project to be built. And we'll be the last town to sign it. I think my understanding is there's general agreement on this now, and I would suspect if we get to it that it would be signed, and then our project in Barnstable would be the largest photovoltaic array on the Cape, and then all of us together would have about 16 megawatts of power coming. So it's a very significant, green energy project for the Cape and for Barnstable.
Yeah, no question about that, and we may well see a vote on that. And then as far as the rest of the town's business is concerned, who knows how much will be accomplished, but certainly there's some intriguing items to talk a little bit more about. There is, under old business, an order authorizing the town manager to execute a significant amendment to the regulatory agreement between 89 Lewis Bay LLC, which of course is part of Chad Doe, the developer's profile. He's trying to renovate the old Greenery nursing home down there on Lewis Bay Road, and this involves mitigation fees that were part of the originally regulatory agreement, and the planning board, after reviewing his request, have decided to recommend to the town council that they reduce those mitigation fees. So talk to me a little bit about this and how it might be handled.
Well, this is something that the town council, I think, has kind of directed us in policy-wise to look for when we do these developments, to look at projects and look at their impact, and if there's a mitigation fee involved, to put that into place. So there were significant benefits given to the developer when they did this project. They got a 4th-story. We've moved around on different uses for the building. So whether or not the council as a whole wants to take the recommendation of the planning department is something that's really a policy decision from them. So if they get to that, and it could be acted upon, I would suspect there'd be substantial debate on that. So you've got this photovoltaic before that, a couple of grant opportunities that we're looking at for, Hyannis to, help clean up a couple of parks. So I'm just not sure if we'll actually get to that, but that would be the gist of what they'll be looking at.
It's an intriguing subject, and I would certainly anticipate that if you're taking mitigation money off the table, there would be a healthy debate regarding that, no question about it. And the other thing that I wanted to ask you about before we run out of time here is the Community Preservation Fund appropriation of close to $1.7 million to purchase the Railway Bluffs property. Of course, there's been a lot of talk about that. There was a recent public meeting held. I know that there wasn't a ton of support for that purchase. So how would this be handled, if at all?
This is going to be indefinitely postponed based on the response of the Hyannis Civic Association. I made a presentation before them, showed them a video of what we anticipated, the Railway Bluffs, which is about a little under an acre of land at the very point entryway into Hyannis and the harbor, a part of our whole walkway, vision. There was just general opposition, and it's kind of been a tenet, I think, of this town manager's tenure, that we listen to the civic associations. We ask them what they want. It's not something that we want to push down, even though we may think it's a terrific purchase and a terrific opportunity for the town to get marina slips and open space on that very valuable parcel, because we haven't been offered waterfront parcels very often, and this was below our the assessed value of $1.75 million that we had on our appraisal. So it seemed to be a project that would have a lot of support. Didn't meet with that, and we listened to our citizenry. So right now that will be indefinitely postponed. Speaking of indefinitely postponement, this. You and I getting together like this will be indefinitely postponed, because you're moving off, and we have been able to sit together every couple of weeks and talk to the citizens of Barnstable and Barnstable Today about what's happening. And I have certainly enjoyed that opportunity to reach out to the citizens. You've always been well informed about our own agenda, and I've learned some things sometimes when we've talked about this. So even though I'm supposed to be prepared on it also. So you've been a wonderful employee and communicator to our public, Nick, and I'm going to miss these meetings.
Well, that really means a lot to hear you say that, Tom, and certainly it's been my absolute pleasure to sit here with you and really learn so much and help folks learn a lot more about town government and the way it works and some of the nuances of how things actually go from an idea to a reality. It's been my absolute pleasure, and certainly thank you for the opportunity.
And I think we've set a standard with this. I think with our new employee, when we're able to announce that, I think we'll continue that same standard, and you've set the bar high, and we'll make sure people try to meet that.
Thanks, Tom. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Nick.
Well, we'll leave you with a look at this week's upcoming meetings. Remember, the Town Council does meet 7 o'clock Thursday evening in the Barnstable High School Night Auditorium, not in the Town Hall hearing room as usual. I'm Nick Cortez. Thank you once again, Tom, and we'll see you next time on Barnstable Today.